What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world? Austin John Plays here, and I want to talk to you about something. I have a problem. My problem is that I'm an adult, and I'm an adult who has way too many Amiibos. I've actually already collected every single already released Smash Amiibo, and as soon as they release that there's going to be more Smash Amiibos available, I pre-order them right away, usually on Amazon or Best Buy or whoever has them in stock soon as they're announced. And my problem is displaying them. Maybe you're not a grown man, but if you have way too many Amiibos, you may be wondering, well, what the heck can I do with all of these? And today we're going to be exploring some more creative options that people have done, and I'm going to be updating what I'm doing with them as well. My biggest problem is sometimes I see wonderful, beautiful pictures like this, taken from Gamescom in Germany in 2015, of a fantastic display of all the Amiibos. If you've ever been to Nintendo New York, you've also seen all of their Amiibos on display, and for me, I don't know what to do with them. Maybe if you're looking for inspiration on what to do with your Amiibos, this video will help, or if you just want to follow me on my journey of me redesigning this studio, great. And the shelf that I have in the corner of the room, this is the IKEA Calyx, which if you don't know, that's the new lightweight version of the Expedit, since apparently the Expedit was leading to deforestation of the entire world by like 1% of the world's wood supply. Fun fact, look it up. And I also started this shelf setup way before they released the newer Amiibos. If you're interested in doing this, you're more than welcome to. This is the 3 wide by 4 tall Calyx, and then those 2 arms right there are just not placed in the upright things, and you'll notice that they're in the back. That's so that the shelf above it doesn't start to flex and bow any. And then the shelves that I used inside of there are actually from a shop called the Container Store, and they are essentially just spice rack shelves. If you want to go pick that up, I'll leave a link in the description down below. You may not have a full, robust Smash Ultimate collection like me. My problem is, that isn't all of my Amiibos. I also have all of the Zelda Amiibos, and that collection just keeps growing. I got Link's Awakening right there. He's just sitting there. He doesn't have a home yet. We need to get him a home. And today, we're going to be getting him a home. Now, in part, the reason that I'm making this video is because I've spent probably in total my entire life 20 hours on how I want them to look, layout, things like that. Also just researching different solutions. And my biggest problem is I want all of them to have their own amount of space. I don't want them to be crowded. I don't want them to be jammed next to each other. Like right now, there is so much overcrowding in here. This needs braces, and bad. I wanted to go over a few things that I've seen online. And firstly, I do want to address this because I've had this as part of the backdrop and I've always wanted to make a video on this. This is an authentic GameStop Amiibo stand. Now, when I went to Too Many Games in Pennsylvania this year, which was a fantastic con, I've hung out with so many creators, had a great time there, met a whole bunch of people, just really excellent time. Scott the Waz and I, we did shots, traded in Jersey style, right? They had one there for sale. I don't know if it was functional. It was just chilling on the floor for 250 bucks, and golly, I wanted to buy it. I didn't have my wallet on me. I walked away. I came back half hour later and it already sold. That's what happens at these conferences and these expos, that if you're not on top of something, you're gonna lose it. I immediately went on eBay as soon as I got home at the end of the weekend, and I bought one for $350. And my intention was to change out the firmware on whatever was in there to be able to display full video. I've actually had this in my room for months because I just wanted to make this video and I just never have. This is a 17.5 inch Android tablet. That's the motherboard right there. There's some more parts to it that I broke. This right here is an Android tablet, and it's nuts to think that yes, this is the same thing as your Kindle or an iPad. However, it's really slow. It's really bad. It's so slow. It's custom firmware on a very old version of Android. And as much as I tried to get into the back door and like modify things around, there was no chance I was going to be able to like really make it a functioning Android or a computer to the point that I wanted to show HD videos on it, right? So my next idea was, well, I'll just buy a regular monitor. excluding the bezel, once you start getting to even 18.5-inch displays, it's way too big. Actually, this one came pretty close. This was like 1/4 of an inch off, which would have been really nice. And once you get down to the 17 range, that's when you get back into 4:3 monitors instead of 16:9 monitors. And I was able to find this 17.5-inch monitor that has a VGA port on the back. It fits perfectly in there. I was able to take it apart, literally just swap the one piece in. I had to cut a lot of metal. A lot of metal had to be cut in order for me to modify this and hang it back up properly, and it looks, you know, OEM. I also kept the LEDs intact, but I disabled the LEDs going around the outside because they actually affected the camera quality and the RGB-ness of everything. Every once in a while I turn them back on, but golly, they are bright. And the Amiibos that I put down there, they're usually blown out on video, but right now it's the 8-bit Link and the 4 champions. I went down the rabbit hole and went on to, I don't want to say it out loud in case my FBI agent is listening, but it's this website with this icon right here that's somewhat useless most of the time. And I started looking at what people are doing, and it's amazing that there's so many displays for like shot glasses and Hot Wheels cars and things like that. And then large figures, but the closest thing that I've seen is actually pop figure displays, the Funko Pops. And the problem with it is, like, a lot of them don't take into account the headroom, because when factoring Amiibos, I look at my 2 largest ones, excluding the Guardian Legend of Zelda Amiibo, which would be Ridley and King K. Rool. King K. Rool's cape from side to side measures 4 inches, and that's however many centimeters it is. And Ridley from base to tip of wing measures 4 inches. I went onto this website and I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked, and I didn't really find anything that I liked. Something that has been in my wish list for the longest time is this right here. It's sold by a guy named Morsbane Goods. I think it's just one guy who knows woodworking and has a dope printer. This right here is individual displays for every single Smash character, and oh golly, it is gorgeous. It really is. He also updates it whenever new Amiibos come out. Like, he already has Squirtle and Ivysaur, and basically what he did, he just took the entire roster and just made it, printed it, done. He even has Joker, Hero, and Banjo already, and they even haven't been announced or hinted at that they're making Amiibos for them. My problem is, and I actually reached out to him, I'm the only question on here, the overall size is 52 inches long by 42 inches high, and that is a lot of wall, my friends. That is a lot of wall. That's like the size of this entire beige shelf that you can see on screen, going from there to the bottom of the table. While it would be cool to literally just put that there, I love my sort of collage. Oh, dang it, my LED fell around the Pokemon again. I love this sort of collage that I have going on of my Zelda games and my Pokemon games, and I really love it. I update it often, and I kind of like to think that people look at it at various points in time and kind of see things that they like. Then I was gonna look into maybe this side of the room over here, which I have a large acoustic panel, and then next to the large acoustic panel, I also have this sort of pegboard that I've put together. And this pegboard, I just kind of love it. I love like the DIY tool shop. This is what your dad had in his garage, except full of Switch accessories and video games and hot sauce and an extra lens. Now, before one of you asks, yes, I totally saw Alex's video on his own custom DIY shelf that Nintendo retweeted and he got 100,000 views on. He uses just lightweight foam in order to make a backdrop and then just places cloth on top. And while it works for him, I wanted something that looked a little bit cleaner and functioned on more of a set drop level. Because the thing about my room is, yes, there's a whole bunch of nerdy stuff, but everything is contained. It has little compartments here and there. They're all like little dioramas of stuff. And one thing that a lot of people have talked about is getting these shelves from IKEA. I don't remember the name of these shelves. They've actually changed names 2 or 3 times. That's the reason that the links are broken. I am super familiar because see that black bar right there? That's one of those shelves. And yes, while it can hold all the Amiibo, if I get like, I don't know, 6 of the big ones, I'm not too good on hanging shelves even and perpendicular, and because of that, I'm afraid of what it would look like. And then this person decided to hang all of the shelves upside down, which looks cool if it didn't have that lip hanging over the front. But then I found something, and I think this is what I'm gonna go with. So for the BESTÅ system, which is used for home theater and oh god, there's like 20,000 products involved in the BESTÅ series. This right here is a BESTÅ. I think you're a BESTÅ. You're my BESTÅ. The BESTÅ series has these extremely slim shelves that are only like 7 7/8 inches deep, which is fantastic because, as I mentioned before, the most space that this is going to take up is 4 inches wide. But for its depth, it's only about 2.5. The base is 2.5 or slightly under that, and then maybe 3.5 inches. So I feel like if I put them in here with 2 glass shelves, then each one will have its own proper visibility and representation. And that's the biggest thing that I want to get rid of, is that right now there's just so much over cramming in there that they're not special. Yes, it's special that they are all there, but they as individuals don't get to shine and flourish. What it looks like here is if I get 3 of these frames, 6 glass shelves, that should only be 2 frames, and then a couple of legs, I'm gonna be able to build this up, attach it to a wall, and it should work. Heck, I might even be able to put it to the left of Majora. Can we get a shot of the left of Majora? Automatic camera, can you go there? Can you see that? I don't think you're doing a very good job. You're not doing a very good job. Nope, left of Majora. Maybe a little bit? A little bit? A little bit more? Yeah? All right, welcome to super ultra wide view. So to the left of Majora, I would be able to put it there. I thought about using this as a camera angle, but then I think about people on mobile and it's like how small I am compared to the entire frame. Yeah. But being able to put the shelves there, I think they would not only look good, but they would function well. And then I could kind of shift this back over so it fills in tightly. And just in case you ever wanted a sweeping panoramic shot so you could see everything in my studio, here you go. I'm gonna keep this in the final video. So that's how tall it would be. If I were to just build this out and have the 2 glass shelves and have 1 small LED strip from IKEA in the top, it would shine down through the glass shelves and you would see everything properly. And again, I want everything to be spaced out. I want everything to have good representation. You know what? Let's just go to IKEA. Now, I'm very fortunate that here in New Jersey, I live fairly close to 2 IKEAs, so I can just recklessly drive over there and pick up the things that I need. Which you may not live as close, so I mean, I've already done a lot of research to this. It's not like I'm just going here on a whim. Also, very important, don't vlog while you drive. That's how you get into an accident. So, I'm parked right now. You can see the trees in the back not moving. Here we are at IKEA in Elizabeth, and fun fact about Elizabeth, New Jersey, we're next to an airport, and usually about every minute or two there's a plane landing. Actually, this is one of the few times that there's not. A lot of people who fly into Newark Airport are going to the city, and there's always usually a very bad smell in the air. That's because there was a landfill here that got covered up. So for people who don't stay in New Jersey but just fly in here, it gets a pretty bad rap. So first things first is I am in the showroom area, as if that wasn't obvious, but I want to actually see one of these in person just so I can get a real feel for it and make sure it's gonna be how I pictured it in my mind. You know what I mean? It makes sense. You've been to IKEA. Now that I actually see it, we might be able to do 4 shelves in each of these. Huh. Funny enough, right next to that is this wall shelf, the Botkirka, And I'm pretty sure I've seen people use these for Amiibos as well. The typical display shelves that everyone has. I might do something like that for downstairs. The reason it doesn't work for upstairs is because any flash that's here, it would reflect off and you would get that harsh flash being visible, and then you wouldn't see the things inside. I just came across this. Apparently Sonos has teamed up with IKEA for actually pretty dope speakers. And at 99 bucks, half the price of the Sonos 2, and they're AirPlay 2 compatible, I might pick some of these up. You get 2 of those for the price of a single speaker normally. I open up the second one, and it's much shorter. So someone put the wrong size on top of my size pile, but they're the same size box. So now I have to go endure rush hour traffic again because some a-hole put that where that goes. And now I'm back, and now it's raining really hard. Just my luck. This is what I need, the .19. And you see here, we have all these .19s and then 17s. Just left IKEA. I decided that we're going to be keeping the smaller one, and I'm going to be able to put that on the bottom. So I bought a nice door that'll go with it. And that will also bring the height of it to a little bit above eye height, which I think would be nice. That way, you know, when it comes to Incineroar and all them at the bottom, they're not, 3 inches from the ground. Now just to sit in traffic on the way home. Now it's finally assembled. We have our little door compartment down here, so I could put, I don't know, things and stuff. And now we're going to install the LEDs. Before we get it into position, we're using the LED bergs for the LED strips. So I've made one more oopsie, that this LED berg is not the same as this LED berg, because this one is 2700K and this one is RGB. So 2700K, RGB, and they are drastically different. The good news is I get to put this in my room and decide which one I like more. If I want to go white or RGB. I think white, but maybe RGB. After some rearranging and knocking Ditto Charmander on the floor, it's finally done. I had to rearrange some things. Originally sat 8 to a shelf, now it's 10 to a shelf, and sometimes 9. Goomba is sitting in for Dark Samus. Chrom is micro USB cable. Simon and Richter are question mark blocks, and Incineroar is small tape measure. And that is all of the characters with Amiibos, excluding all the DLC, but for some reason including Piranha Plant. And I feel like I still didn't think ahead for enough space, so I might end up taking this area down here. And I definitely like the natural light over the RGB light. And for the last little bit, I have these LED lights from BenQ that are for reading right by your computer, and they're fantastic at night. It gives like a nice healthy glow to like everything going on. They actually sent over several of them. I like how it looks like a microphone, kind of like a boom mic. And I'm going to be putting one up there too. Thanks to the BenQ screen reading light, I was able to get that in place and have that nice warm light substituted in, even though I'm going to swap out these LEDs for the warmer ones. I think I'm still going to keep that there because I like that extra light shining down from that position for everything going on there. But I think it looks good. They look like they're collectibles in a collectible case, the way they should be, much better than they did look in that thing over there. So it's now 10:45 p.m. The project is pretty much done except for swapping out the top row of LEDs. And while for some reason in my head I thought that they would be roomier, I am very happy with the way it turned out. Don't mind the mess in the corner, because that's all the IKEA stuff. You can tell by the giant blue bag and the heaps of plastic. We recycle here. There's going to be a lot more changes going on, especially to the backdrop. But if you're interested in any of the parts that I picked up, except for the very detailed IKEA stuff, I'm going to be leaving links down below, in addition to links if you want to pick up the BenQ screen bar e-reading lamp, which in that sense, it's not used properly, although I do use one on this monitor right here all the time. Guys, I'm wrapping up this video. Thanks for checking out. I guess this was a vlog. I wonder what my viewer retention is at this point in the video. I'd be very happy if it's 20%. It's probably lower than that. Anyways, I love you all for you 20% checking out this video. If you haven't done so, be sure to hit the like button. Until next time, Austin John out.